a young law school graduate, Roger Barron, arrives in New York to take a job as an assistant to veteran attorney Edward Dodd. Barron has admired Dodd his entire life, but a lot has changed over the years. Eddie has lost his former fire and now focuses on defending drug dealers. Still under the influence of his idealistic assistant, Dodd agrees to take on the case of a young Korean man who has spent 8 years in prison for a murder he didn't commit. As new evidence comes to light, Dodd rediscovers what justice and fairness really mean. Joseph Ruben is one of those directors it's impossible not to respect. He began his career in the 1970s with risque comedies, then shifted to thrillers in the 1980s. Most notably The Stepfather, a brilliant example of domestic horror whose formula has since been endlessly copied. The success of The Stepfather allowed Ruben to move into Hollywood's top tier. And in the 1990s, he directed the hit Sleeping with the Enemy starring Julia Roberts, and The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood. In the new century, however, the industry changed. Thrillers and detective stories migrated to television and later to streaming, and Ruben didn't put in the effort to adapt to the new system, ultimately finding himself sidelined. Ruben's most recent directorial effort to date, the historical drama The Ottoman Lieutenant, came out in 2017 and, unsurprisingly, flopped at the box office. True Believer, which he made during his rise, between The Stepfather and Sleeping with the Enemy, isn't considered one of his major works either. That doesn't mean it isn't worth attention. It's a solid courtroom mystery, the kind of film you instinctively want to call typical of big Hollywood of that era. And that description works equally well as praise and as diagnosis. Ruben directs the film with surgical genre precision. There are simply no scenes here that don't relate either to the investigation or to the main character's arc as he regains his passion for the law. No love interests, no needy relatives or orphans to look after, no distracting addictions or psychological trauma, just the case itself, which provides the characters with everything they need for depth and dimension. In that sense, True Believer resembles Rob Reiner's later A Few Good Men. It's the same kind of story about a stubborn idealist forcing the powerful to reckon with the little people they trample for the greater good. And the final courtroom confrontation between Dodd and the district attorney directly echoes A Few Good Men's climax. Yes, True Believer lacks the warmth and sentimentality that Reiner brought to his films, where any story could become something more. But it has one undeniable asset: James Woods as Dodd, charged and electrified here as he was in his best performances. Unfortunately, there isn't much for his young partner, Robert Downey Jr. to play, but Woods finds plenty to latch onto in his character, turning Dodd from a mere cog in the script into a flesh-and-blood human being. One you end up rooting for more than for the exonerated Korean defendant, played oddly enough by Japanese actor Yuji Okumoto. It's fitting that in 1991 a TV spin-off titled Eddie Dodd was produced, with Treat Williams in the lead role. Without Woods, though, the magic didn't work, and the series was canceled after just 6 episodes.